After a friendly against Eintracht Frankfurt this past weekend, the Union are back in MLS action this weekend as the club play host to Toronto FC. The stretch run of the season is here, and the same goes for us on Union Insider, which starts right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Union Insider presented by Independence Blue Cross. I'm your host, Marisa alongside two club legends, Sebastian Letou and Sheanon Williams. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since the Union had an MLS game. Last week they hosted Eintracht Frankfurt and former player Paxton Aronson in a friendly match. But if you can remember back to 2 weeks ago, the Union had an amazing come-from-behind victory against Colorado, scoring 3 goals in the second half to get the home win at Subaru Park. But guys, I know your memories aren't that great. That's okay. Here's a quick refresher of that game.
Just going in one direction. Let's make sure that's the right direction.
But he got stopped. Tougher. Mikel shot.
Chester, Pennsylvania, the Philadelphia Union host the Colorado Rapids. Philadelphia Union, they're second in the league table. If they win tonight, they'll take first place.
Bring the energy and play free, guys. All right, come on.
Come on.
Underway, 2 teams currently in a playoff position. Vaho able to pull up, plays this ball across. The shot is off the mark. Colorado has the lead. Fired, save made. Union get ahead to it. Stopped by Steffen. Somehow does not go. Again, Wagner plays short. Again. Played back to Wagner and tie game. Philadelphia Union have leveled. And it's that man again. Time Aribo, 15th of the year. It's 1-1. Works it across. Shot goes in. Oh my goodness. In the 89th minute, the Union find a way. It's Mikel racing onto the loose ball. Looking for another Mikel shot. Seal it. Mikel second of the night. The Union are on their way to the Eastern Conference penthouse. Bradley Carnell's team saw the Rapids score first, and then his all-star striker Aribo got the comeback started, and that man, Mikel finished the deal.
30 shots, 11 on target, 4.8 XG, because you proved and you showed and you went about it in the most professional way ever. And now, Mika's on fire!
The Union have now played 25 matches in the 2025 season, meaning this year is about 3/4 of the way done with a playoff push and potentially much more on the horizon. Here's how the Union are stacking up to the rest of the Eastern Conference with 9 games left in the regular season. The Union are currently not only in the top spot in the East, but they're sitting atop the Supporter Shield standings as well with 50 points and a 15-5-5 record through 25 games. However, there are some teams right behind the Union in the standings. FC Cincinnati is just 1 point behind them with 49, and Nashville SC is within a game as well with 47 points in 3rd place. The Union's goal differential of 19 is also currently leading all of MLS as well, with Vancouver, San Diego, and Nashville all comfortably behind the Union with 16. The Union have 50 points through 25 games, and at 2 points per game, they are on pace to surpass the 2022 team for most points in club history. It's a lot of stats right there, but how impressed are you guys with the run that this team has made this year?
I mean, if we rewind ourselves and come back in our first show, there was not many, people giving the chance of the Union to make the playoff this season. So I think we are all, very happily surprised about all what they've been doing this season, being, under a new coach with a lot of new players on the team and a young team. They've been, really, really good, the entire season, playing always the same way and getting a lot of, good results. And at the end, right now, they are first in the Superstar Shield. So we are close to the end, 9 games left. They still, to go dig deep, to finish on a final sprint to make sure, I think, first, it's to try to get the home advantage for the playoff. And then I think when they get that, they can maybe get, closest to be, number one, maybe supporter shield, but we'll see. But they are very close, and the way they've been playing, the last game against Colorado 2 weeks ago was a very good prestation. Like you hear from the coach saying, like 30 shots, during that game, the most, this season. You can see that even if they just scored 3 goals at the end, they could have get maybe 7 or 8 or 9 goals in that game. But we are going to take the win, the 3 points, but hopefully they keep playing the same way, especially at home, to keep the maximum of points they can get. And after, they will need to get some result away, because there's a little stretch at the end of the season when they go play in Cincinnati, which is right now right behind them by 1 point. So a big game, probably a 6-point game as we call it, for the end of the season. And then they go to Vancouver with a long trip. Vancouver as well is playing on the top of the West to get a good result. So it's going to be a too tough game, but I think it's a great preparation for the playoff. And hopefully the team keep playing the same way.
Yeah, the way they've been playing has been serving them well. How surprised are you that this is where we are at this point in the season?
I'm going to be honest and say that I'm pretty surprised. I think this is definitely a team that we thought would make the playoffs. I don't think anybody thought that we would be in first place, still in 3 competitions in the Supporters Shield. You could still win MLS Cup, still in Open Cup as well. So this team has put themselves in a really good spot at this point in the season. And now they have this last 9-game stretch that Seba talked about, playing some tough opponents that you're going to see potentially when you move into playoffs. So how do they finish off this great stretch that they've been on so far? How can they extend that into playoffs? You really want to start to really be playing at your best as you're peaking going into playoffs. So can they do that? Can they really start to put everything together? You're seeing them make some more additions. You're seeing them get back healthy, getting guys back from international duty, which it's been a long summer for that as well, with Gold Cup being behind us now. I think everybody's just focused on the season and what's ahead of them.
So how much do you think exceeding expectations plays into the players' confidence that they're feeling right now?
Absolutely. Anytime you're in first place, your team's going to be full of confidence, and they've been in first place for such a long stretch of this season that the confidence has just been taking them through some tough periods. They've had games that they've lost, but they've definitely come back and made adjustments and been better in that next game. So that's promising to see, and I think that the confidence right now is in large part to them being in first place.
And Seba, what can you point to specifically about Bradley Carnell's approach to this season with this team that has led to so much success?
I think, 2 things for me is the fact that he came back to have kind of like a type of high press, having the guys, really reacting as soon as they lose the ball, being together and really be winning the ball in the half of the opponent who, then turn around and turnovers happen, and a lot of goals for the Union happen that way. And then what I love a lot too about this season is that Bradley Carnell really included not just 11 players, but the full team. You saw so many changes, so many guys coming in, playing a little bit here, a little bit there, starting some games when we were on the straight of 3 games, and you saw some guys who maybe you were not thinking of them playing this year, but they step in and they show. I'm thinking about Macania as a center back. Nobody was expecting him to play. We got the injury of Glavinovic, but then it's always a next man up. And he has been a great job, I think, from the coaching staff to give the confidence and include everybody to, be able to show and shine when we need it. And I take the example of the last game against Colorado. Michael Ua, who is on the bench, didn't start. It's Damian Baribo, but come on in the game with Salivas as a forward, with Bedoya as well come in the game, and those 3 connect on the 3rd goal. Ua gives the winner at the 89th minute and then get a brace, on the last goal when there's a great pressure from Saliva, the first ball playing by Bedoya behind the defense, and Ua finishing up. It's those type of mentality and confidence you want from a group. Individually, of course, you know that if you come on the field, you can make a difference. And as a collective, I know that if Sheanon is on the bench, but he's going to come in, he's going to bring something because he's motivated and he wants, the best for the team. And it's what you want for, a team with, like Sheanon says, still up in 3 competition to try to get, some silverware this year and win something. So it's been, 2 very impressive things for me that Bradley Carnell brought this season that maybe we didn't see in the past couple of seasons for the Union.
We've got more Union Insider for you in a bit, but first, here's your Union trivia question presented by United Concordia. The Union won their 200th MLS game against Colorado Rapids on July 26th, but what is the club's all-time record in MLS? Find out the answer later in the show. Welcome back to Union Insider, presented by Independence Blue Cross. The Union officially unveiled their state-of-the-art Wisfis Bank sportsplex last month with a ribbon-cutting ceremony on the team's campus in Chester. Here's a look at all that went down on that special day.
It is truly an honor to stand here with you as we officially open the Wispas Bank Sportsplex.
Let me tell you a little bit about how we got here. Every project like this really starts with a vision, and it's a dream based not on what is, but what can be. 25 years ago, as you can see from this photo, this waterfront site was really lost to time. But we imagined something different. We had this idea, a somewhat crazy idea, that we could create a dynamic, thriving waterfront anchored by the Philadelphia Union that would bring hundreds of thousands of people to this historic city every year.
I grew up in Delaware County, about 10 miles from here, and I can attest that when I was growing up here, Chester was just an afterthought. And I never thought I would be standing here today seeing what's being accomplished.
You know, when we thought about bringing Major League Soccer to Philadelphia so many years ago, we never dreamed that we would have what we have here today. This ribbon cutting is more than just the opening of a facility. It's a celebration of ownership's vision, of the collective vision of this community. This campus not only features a great stadium, it's got fields that will bring the community together. It will be the home for our second team, Union 2, and the integration of the whole academy system. You here have something that's never been done before in Major League Soccer.
You're actually unbelievable.
If you want to follow me, IBX Field. Never seen Tim do as much research as what does the turf look like. So what it ultimately is it's court. It ultimately provides like the truest roll of the ball. You know, it's training for the teams, but also then if you look over here, we've got a Chester football team having practice right here. Well known for basketball, state championships, things of the sort. So as the mayor said, really wanted to have some basketball in here.
This is more than just a beautiful, state-of-the-art facility. This is a world-class super campus, bringing together the Philadelphia Union's first team, second team, academy, and school, all in one place, right here in Chester.
We are witnessing the beginning of a new chapter for Chester, a chapter that focuses on opportunity, development, and bringing positive energy to every corner of our city.
One campus that connects all of the dots of building the foundation of the sport in this community, brick by brick. Since 2020, the club has recorded more points, more goals, more clean sheets than any team in Major League Soccer. It's the kind of innovation and investment and ambition that's driving our league forward.
What makes this space truly special is that it doesn't separate professional excellence from community access. It brings them together. The same fields where Union 2 will compete and where future stars will be shaped through the Union Academy, those same fields will be open to our local youth. That message is powerful. You belong here. Your dreams matter. This is what the future of sports infrastructure should look like: inclusive, innovative, and intentionally rooted in the communities they serve.
And now I think as we look at what we can do with this amazing new sports complex, this amazing campus, this amazing community, with all these pieces working together, with everything in one place, I can't wait to see what we can achieve together.
We're coming up on a break for Union Insider, but when we return, we'll tell you what the Union have to do to start a stretch run of the season with a win against an Eastern Conference opponent on Saturday. We'll be right back after this. Time for this week's Union Update presented by Torque. The Union made their first splash of the summer transfer window, bringing in American forward Milan Ilowski from the Danish Superliga. After playing at San Diego FC earlier this season, the American tallied 10 goals and 1 assist for San Diego this year and scored 4 goals in a 12-minute span against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Welcome back to Union Insider, presented by Independence Blue Cross. I'm Marisa Pilla, and as we move into this weekend, it's time to get a preview of the Union's game against Toronto FC at this weekend as we bring you our keys to the game presented by Subaru. So Seba, you are up first. What is your key to the game?
I mean, if we kind of go on the game against Colorado and Eintracht Frankfurt, I think was a great performance as well from the team in this friendly. I would like to see, keep the high press in a half of Toronto to be able to win the ball, high up the field, and try to as many opportunities as they got against Colorado, but hopefully that time with more goals, because it's what, of course, we want as a fans. But if they press high and they do a very good job, all together, squeezing the ball in the half of Toronto, don't let them come out, I think we can have a great game, offensively for the team and stay, more confidence and hopefully have an easy win right away from the get-go, beginning of the game. Hopefully we can score in the first 15 minutes.
How about you?
To piggyback off of Seba's key, my key to the game is going to be for this team to be really good in transition. Can they do a good job of, once they win the ball back, making chances for themselves, creating things for others? Can they do a really good job of making sure that they make the right decisions once they win the ball to get to the goal?
Now give us your scouting report for Toronto. Who do the Union really need to be paying attention to?
I mean, Toronto have been really struggling this season. So I think for them, I don't know if they are still thinking of making the playoff. I'm sure they do, but it's been, since they lost, their two players, Bernardeschi and Insigne, it's two guys, who were the number one kind of fixation for every team. Now they don't have them, it's kind of a chance for a lot of their players, and especially young players, to come in and make a difference. So I will say, the hardest thing for the Union is the fact that they know that Toronto don't play for much. They don't know much about this team. They don't sure, which formations they're going to play, but they need to just bring the intensity and, like I was talking, the defensive press to make sure that we are winning those duels, because Toronto is going to kind of try to play off, the rhythm of this game, try to frustrate the Union, and then, try to go and counter-attack. So if we can bring, the energy to them right away and not falling asleep and not playing at the level of Toronto, I think we have a big chance to have a lot of goals for the Union, and hopefully an easy win and a good management from Bradley Carnell, who could be making, some substitution during that game. So then we can prepare, a full week with 2 times playing Red Bulls in Open Cup and then back to the Red Bulls in MLS.
Yeah, Sheanon, do you see this as an opportunity for some of those Union players to get even more rotation?
Absolutely. I think that this is a game where you can definitely rotate some players. You can definitely add some players. Somebody like a Michael Uwa could be in the starting lineup for this game, somebody that showed really well last week and hasn't been in the team because of injury. These are the type of games where you try to get those players a little bit of minutes. This is a Toronto team that's only won 1 in their last 5, so a team that, like Seba talked about, is really struggling, really transitioning in the middle of the season, losing 2 of their better players and trying to find their way now. So it'll be a challenging game. It'll be a game where these guys from Toronto come and do their best to try and show for next year. So the Union just need to do a good job of handling business. Whoever's out on the field, they've done that all season, and I expect them to do it again against Toronto.
Right. It almost even has the makings of a scrappy trap game for the Union too, so they have to kind of keep their heads above that a little bit as well.
Yeah, it's I think for them, they just keep looking on top. They know they are first. I think what we say, I think the goal right now for the team is to try to gain a home advantage in the playoff. They probably need, maybe a couple of wins to get that, to make sure, because it's a tight race. There's 5 teams who are really, here to maybe make the supporter shield. So a lot of things can happen, but the home game are very important for the Union, and it starts against Toronto to get another 3 points, so then they can move on and play the next game in Open Cup, and then we'll see, of course, the Red Bulls, right across New Jersey to beat them. But first, I think it's 3 points against Toronto, and let's take one game at a time. But we had a full rest, we have everybody healthy. A new addition with Milan Ilowski, who can come on as well and start that game. So it's interesting to see what type of lineup Bradley Carnell is going to bring offensively to try to get those goals. And if you need to make some change, we all know that the guys are already on the bench.
It's time for our last break of the show, but when we return, the guys will share their final thoughts before the Union take on Toronto FC this weekend. Union Insider will wrap up after this. Here's the answer to this week's Union Trivia question presented by United Concordia. The Union's all-time record is 200 wins, which they got against Colorado in the last game, 181 losses, and 139 draws. So it's time for our final segment here on Union Insider, presented by Independence Blue Cross, and it's time for these guys to share their final thoughts for the show for this week's edition of Final Whistle, presented by Allstate. Sheanon, you're up first. Your final thoughts heading into Saturday.
It's the last 9 games of the season. Can they do a good job of managing these games and playing their best at the right time? That's going to be leading up in the playoffs, also leading up into the later stages of Open Cup. Can they do a really good job of maximizing these last 9 games?
Yeah, and for me, I'm excited for Saturday. I'm excited to see the team back at home against a struggling Toronto team. Can we play the same way than we did against Colorado? I think if we do the same type of performance, it should be a 3 points, and we can keep looking in front. We have 50 points. Can we get 53 after Saturday? And maybe the team behind are going to struggle, and we can have a little chance to maybe make a little gap between us and those teams. But it's always all about us, and especially at home. Let's get the 3 points. But I'm excited for that game, and I think it's going to be a good one for the fans to come at Subaru Park.
Yeah, and I don't always share a final thought, but this week I will. My final thought is saying thank you and goodbye to our wonderful producer, Kyle Morello. He is unfortunately leaving us, but moving on to a really great opportunity, and we just want to say thank you, Kyle, for everything you've done for us. It's been a pleasure to watch you grow over the years, and we're excited for your next chapter. That's going to do it for this one. The Union are back at home on Saturday as they look to complete the season sweep of Toronto FC at 7:30 p.m. Seba will be alongside Dave Leno on the radio call on 97.5 The Fanatic, and the game can also be seen on MLS Season Pass. For Sheanon and Seba, I'm Marisa, and we'll see you next week.